here at Loggerhead Marine Life Center. Today we are doing some live yoga at Carve Surf and Coffee with Shelby over here.
Hi, Amy. I'm the conservation manager.
Carve is one of our Blue Table partners, and they are committed to reducing single-use plastics and promoting sustainable seafood in their establishment. They're really awesome, and we're really excited to do some yoga. So get ready for some pre-Earth Day yoga for the celebration of the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, and use this time to set your intentions for Earth Day to connect with our blue planet. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Shelby now, and I'm really excited.
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm super excited to bring you guys some yoga. We're going to just do a nice, mellow, 60-minute slow flow. So to begin tonight, let's go ahead and come to a comfortable seated position. So I call this Sukhasana. Easy, comfortable seated position. And you can bring your hands to the tops of your knees. You can choose either palms down or palms up. Start to come into connection with your breath. Close your eyes. So we're going to start to cultivate a 3-part breath. So to begin, just go ahead and exhale your breath completely. And feel the gentle pause at the bottom where your airway stays open. And then inhaling back through the nose. Pause at the top where again you feel that airway remaining open. And exhale. So cultivating that balance, the length of the breath to match the inhale and the exhale, the sound, remaining balanced. On your next exhale breath, just go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest. And then on your inhale, bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then exhale, dropping the chin back towards your chest. Inhale the right ear towards your right shoulder. And then back to center on your exhale. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. This time exhale, drop your head back. And then left ear, left shoulder. Back to center. So we're just going to take 3 circles here in this clockwise rotation. You can pause any place where you feel like you might need to linger. And after that third one, we're just going to go ahead and switch directions. So exhale, chin back down towards your chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, let your head go back behind you. Right ear, right shoulder. And then exhale, chin towards your chest. So now moving in this counterclockwise position, rotation. Take one more. Coming back to center, go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. And with your eyes closed, your hands to your heart, just bring to mind an intention, right? Through these difficult times, there's a lot of stress, right? A lot of uncertainty, some worry, some fear. And then just think of all the love that's around you, in your life, in your community. On your inhale, go ahead and bring all of that right into your heart center. And exhale. So bringing to mind maybe your intention tonight, right? Celebrating Earth Day. If there's anything in your heart, right? How you can give back to your community, back to Mother Earth, or just allowing love and light in. We'll start with a clearing breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale out of your mouth. Good. Go ahead and inhale, reach your arms up, bring your palms to touch overhead. And then keeping your base, your foundation, go ahead and twist to the right. Left hand to the right knee, right hand back and behind you. Be sure that the hips don't move with you in your twist. They stay grounded. And you can just turn your head over the right shoulder, gazing over your right shoulder. Stay light on those hands so you know you're twisting from center. Good. Inhale, go ahead and reach up, bring your palms to touch overhead. And then exhale, twisting to the left. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Again, make sure your right hip doesn't follow you. Stay grounded in your foundation as you turn your gaze over the left shoulder. Soft in the shoulders, lifted chest. Good. Staying light in those hands. Inhale, go ahead and come back to center. Reach your arms up overhead. Then exhale, draw your hands down through heart center. You can release your hands to the floor out in front of you. So as you've reached those hands to the ground out in front of you, I want you to remain grounded through your tailbone. So the low belly draws back, the sit bones are not flying away from the ground, and you can even use your hands here to assist in staying rooted there. And then instead of pulling the chest back, right, notice that the chest is pulling back, use that grounding of your hands as well to push into the floor and lift your chest through the space of your upper arms. So imagine that idea if you were reaching for a window overhead and you were closing a window, right? It's that same action. Back of the neck stays long, your gaze is down the tip of the nose, inhaling and exhaling in that balanced way. Go ahead and take one more breath. Good. Go ahead and walk those hands back in. Inhale, go ahead and reach the arms up. And then exhale, draw your hands down through heart center. Releasing your hands down to the floor out in front of you. Go ahead and make your way up onto your hands and your knees into a tabletop position. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. You can press the tops of the feet down into the ground. And as you inhale, lift your chest and your tail. Thread the chest through the space of your upper arms. Then on your exhale, round, curl in, navel to your spine, drop your chin towards your chest. Two more like that. Inhale, back open, lift your chest through. And exhale, curl in. If you want to add a little bit more strength and engagement, you'll inhale, pull those elbows back, lift your chest, really draw that low belly in. And then as you exhale and curl in, press into the tops of the feet. See if you can hover your knees, your shin bones a little bit. And then release, lower down. Right back to neutral tabletop position. You're going to reach your left arm up. The chest opens towards the side. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, thread your left arm underneath the right. Your left shoulder, your left ear towards the ground. You can reach your right arm maybe overhead. You can keep it where it is or wrap it across the back. Notice that the hips might want to swing a little bit to the right, so stay grounded there in that left shin bone. You can close your eyes, remain balanced in your breath. Low belly draws in as you twist at the rib cage. One more breath. Good. Go ahead and unwind back to that neutral tabletop position. One cycle of cow and cat just to neutralize. Inhale, lift your chest and your tail. And then as you exhale, curl in. You can add that press into the tops of the feet. Hover the shin bones. And release, lower down. Reach your right arm up. Take an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Right shoulder, right ear to the floor. Again, that left hand can reach or it can wrap. Try not to shift those hips, swing them to the left. Keep grounded in that right shin bone. A little lift through that right hip crease as you twist at the rib cage. Easy breath, lengthening the inhale, lengthening your exhale. Good. One more breath. And gently unwind, coming back to your tabletop position. Last round of cow and cat. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your tail. And exhale, round, curl it in, drop the chin towards your chest. You can add that press into the tops of the feet. And then release. All right, so I want you to reach your hips back towards your heels. You can extend your arms overhead. This here is called Balasana or Child's Pose. You can rest your forehead on the ground If at any time you need to take a break or you just need any grounding, this is a great place to come to settle your energy, to come back to that balanced breath, okay? Go ahead and shift back forward to your tabletop position. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Take an inhale breath here. Fingers are spread nice and wide. And exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. And take some time here to ease into the opening of the back of the legs. So you can bend one knee, bend the opposite as you press the heels towards the ground. Notice that in some bodies, your heels may not come all the way to the ground. That's okay. And as long as you're not energetically reaching them up, right? Settling them down towards the ground. Relax the Achilles, allow it to open. And then inhale, shift forward to plank. Find your shoulders over your wrists, your legs nice and strong, pushing the floor away. There's a slight tuck of your tail. And then exhale, hips right up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale again, forward to plank, shoulders over your wrists, stay high onto the tips of the toes, keep your legs strong. We're going to lower down into chaturanga position, so we're going to lower all the way to the floor. The elbows are going to hug into the body as we lower. And we're going to aim to drop the chest and the hips to the floor at the same time. So go ahead and bend the elbows and lower for a count of 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Release the tops of the feet into the mat. So you're pointing your toes. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chest on your inhale breath. Stay light on the hands, pulling the hands and the ribs towards one another. Looking down the tip of the nose. And then exhale, release, lower down. One more time like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower down. We're going to move into upward facing dog. So you'll push off of the toes. The arms get a little straighter. Push into the tops of the feet. Notice the thighs are lifting. And exhale, downward facing dog. Reach your hips up and back. Looking forward towards your hands. Slowly walking your feet to your hands. Try to keep your hands flat to the floor if possible the whole way forward. So you're using your core. Walking your feet all the way forward. Keep a little space between the feet. Reach the chest forward. Inhale. And exhale, fold, hinge at the hips. If you need to bend your knees, please go ahead and do so. So rather than keeping space between your chest and your thighs, I'd rather have you guys bend your knees and create some contact of your belly, your chest to your thighs, so you're hinging at the hip crease. You can relax your arms, let them dangle. Reach for your opposite elbows. Or another nice option to traction the neck is to clasp the hands, interlace the fingers, take the palms to the back of the head, and then the elbows gently wrap towards the outside of your ears. Stay forward in the front part of the foot. The low belly is lifting in, up, and back. Balanced breath in through the nose, out through the nose. If you're able to stay connected to your breath, it's less likely that your mind will drift towards the past or the future. More likely to stay present right here in the current moment. That's what makes this more of a moving meditation, right? Keeping your focus on the breath. And then relax your arms wherever they are. Inhale, lift your chest. Find this halfway lift position. And exhale, fold in. Keep your legs strong. On your inhale, let the chest lead the way. Strong legs reach up overhead. Bring your palms to touch. And then on your exhale, draw your hands down through heart center. Go ahead and heel toe your feet to touch. We're going to move through Sun Salutation A, or Surya Namaskar A. Go ahead and inhale, reach your arms up. Palms touch overhead. Then on your exhale, fold, hinge at the hips. You're going to bend your knees as much as you need to try to get your hands down to the floor. So go ahead and bend a lot for some of you. Inhale, lengthen, push into the ground. And on your exhale for this first one, we're just going to step back to plank position and then go ahead and lower again. Chaturanga, elbows in. Lower halfway or all the way down into your cobra or up dog. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet, peel the chest open. Lift your chin, look down your nose. And then exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Hold here and breathe. 5 balanced breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale, And exhale. 1, 2, breathing with sound, you can hear the breath. 3, inhale, let the belly expand. Exhale, draw the belly in. 4, 5, good. Look forward towards your hands. On your inhale, for this first one, you can walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Bend your knees if you need to. Pull the chest forward. And exhale, fold in. Inhale all the way up. Reaching up overhead, look up towards your thumbs. And exhale, relax your arms by your side. And we're going to do 2 more like that. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold, bend forward. Inhale, press into the ground, bend your knees if you need to. This next one, you can either step back or press into the hands and lightly jump back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale into your up dog. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Hold here and breathe, relax your head, it's heavy. Neck is soft and relaxed, shoulders are soft. Grounding through your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking forward, inhale, step or lightly jump, feet to your hands, lengthen. Exhale, folding in. Inhale all the way up to stand. And exhale, arms by your side. 1 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. So just moving with the breath like a pendulum. Exhale, legs back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Hold there and breathe your 5 breaths. 1, 2, notice maybe the back of the legs are beginning to open. 3, 4, allow yourself to experience fully each sensation. 5, present with the breath. Look forward on your inhale, feet to your hands. Exhale, folding in. Inhale all the way up to stand. And exhale, arms by your side. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move into chair pose. Utkatasana, sink your hips low. Reach your arms up, feet are together. Squeeze your thighs together, look towards your thumbs, lift your chest. Exhale, fold, bend forward. Lengthen on your inhale, stay lifted. You're going to step your left foot back. Try to keep your hands down to the ground and then step your right foot back. We're going to lower into that chaturanga position. Lower down. Inhale into your cobra or up dog. Press into the tops of the feet, chest lifted. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg nice and high behind you, 3-legged dog. See your right toes pointing straight down towards the floor underneath you, so not too high, and make sure the toes are pointing outward. Drop that right hip nice and down and low in line with the left. On your exhale, you're going to draw your right knee towards your nose. You might need to help that right leg forward, right? That's okay if you need to do that. Go ahead and drop your left thigh down to the ground, uncurl the back toes. You're going to come up into low lunge or Anjaneyasana. You can keep your hands down on the ground if you need. You can bring them to the thigh, maybe reaching them up, right? Any shape that's comfortable for you in the arms. Breathing here, there's a drop of the tail, a little lift of the low belly, chest is up. Good, and exhale, release your hands down, frame your right foot. Just go ahead and ease your hips back to half split. Fold over your right leg, pull your chest through that space of your upper arms. Back of the neck is long, gazing down the tip of the nose. Good. Go ahead and shift back forward into your lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift the thigh. You're going to push off that back leg so you can step your left foot to meet your right. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. And then step your right foot back now to your lunge. Hands are framing that left foot. Push into the ground, lift that belly. And step your left foot back to plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg will lift to your three-legged dog position. Look for those left toes pointing straight down towards the ground. Take another breath here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl it and knee towards your nose. Remember, you can help that left leg to step nice and light between your hands. Dropping your right thigh down to the ground. Uncurl the back toes and come up into your Anjaneyasana, whatever shape in the arms you chose on the other side. Stay balanced, right? Whatever options you take, left side, right side. Draw the low belly in, a little tuck of the tail. Allow some opening in that right hip flexor, right quad. Release the hands down, frame your left foot, and shift back half split. Pull the shoulders back, chest forward. Right, so we're not rounding, collapsing in the chest. Find length. You can always bend that left knee if you need. And then shifting back into your lunge, you're going to tuck the back toes, lift the thighs, stepping very lightly as you can, the left foot to meet your right, top of the mat. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold. Good. Go ahead and drop back down into chair pose. Knees bend, reach your arms up. Good. And then come all the way to stand. Rest your arms by your side. We're going to come into two forward bends. Go ahead and separate your feet a little bit. About the distance of two of your fists between your feet. Hands to your hips. And I want you to hinge at the hips. So again, if you need to bend your knees, that's perfectly acceptable, right? Belly, chest comes to your thighs or straight legs. You're going to reach for your big toes like you're wearing flip-flops, right? All my Floridians know what flip-flops are like, right? Really uncomfortable in between your toes. Straight arms, inhale, pull the chest forward. Even if you're bending at the knees, that's okay. Exhale, fold, hinge at the hip crease, bend your elbows and direct them back towards your shins so you can pull your shoulders away from your ears. Stay forward in the foot. Right, so if the elbows are reaching forward, it's hard to pull your shoulders down the back and it creates tension. So a little bend of those elbows back towards your shins allows some space around the neck, around your shoulders, the head can relax. Straighten the arms, push the knuckles into the floor if you can. Pull the chest forward, belly in. And exhale, shuffle your hands underneath the feet. You can do one at a time, or if you're really fancy, you can do both at the same time. Lengthen, inhale. And exhale, folding in. Curl your wrist over your toes. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Low belly is in. Legs are straight if possible, as long as you're not sacrificing and pulling the chest away from your thighs, right? Good. Straighten the arms. Inhale. Reach the chest forward. Release your hands out from underneath your feet. And then heel toe your feet a little bit wider, right? So on your mat, about the width of your mat. Your toes might be out a little bit, the heels in. And as long as you can keep your heels on the floor, I want you to start to bend your knees, right? As soon as the heels lift, maybe you need to adjust the width of your feet, right? Or just hang out nice and high. Some of you are able to come all the way down, right? That's great. Hips low, chest high. You can bring your hands to prayer. So being able to keep the heels on the floor, very important, right? Don't sacrifice. Maybe if they're lifting, you just don't go down as far. Take one more breath here. And you can release those hands down to the ground. We're going to make our way back through vinyasa. So some of you might just lift those hips up and step back to that plank position, lower chaturanga. For some others of you at home, if you'd like to keep those hips high and start to work Bakasana, crow position, those knees will come up towards your armpits. You might bend your elbows a little bit in the beginning and start to shift some weight forward. You're gripping into the fingertips. Maybe you're just going to begin by lifting that left foot and putting it down, and then lifting the right foot and putting it down a couple of times, left and right. Maybe for some of you, you're lifting both of your feet, pushing your arms nice and straight. Try to get your feet to touch. This is like a strong cat pose, right? Curling, 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 and curling in. And then when you're ready, you can send your legs back, step, or jump back to that chaturanga position. Inhale into up dog, and exhaling downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward to a warrior one position. Left heel drops down to the ground. Inhale, go ahead and reach the arms up. Pull your shoulders down, your chest up. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, and then exhale, opening up into warrior two. Nice deep lunge, bending into that right knee, pressing your right knee outward. So you can use your gaze here. Look to the inner right thigh. See if you can see the inside of your right foot. If the knee is collapsing inward, you won't be able to see it, right? So press it outward so you're working those external rotators. Hips are nice and level. Gaze is steady over the right fingertips. One more breath. Good. Exhale, hands down, frame your right foot. You can step back to plank and lower chaturanga into your up dog and down dog, or just go right back to down dog if you're conserving energy. I'd like to conserve energy myself. It's like going green, right? I know I have bad jokes. Okay. Left foot forward, inhale, come up, warrior one. Back leg strong and straight, chest is lifted. Nice deep breaths. Good, one more. Take an inhale, then exhale, opening up into your warrior two position. So the hips are more level towards that long edge of the mat and parallel sitting bones towards the floor. And then again, check your alignment, press your left knee outward so you can see the inside of your left foot. Gaze down the length of your left fingertips, chest up, shoulders back. One more breath. Good. Exhale, hands down, frame your left foot, and step back to your plank position, either moving through your vinyasa or right back to your downward facing dog. Looking forward towards your hands, you're going to either walk, step, or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Land in your halfway lifted position, chest pulls forward. Exhale, fold back in. Strong legs bring you all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up overhead, get nice and tall. And exhale, arms by your side. Okay, take a nice big step back with the right foot. Bring your hands to your hips, about the distance of one of your legs between your feet. Your toes are in a little bit, your heels are out, so the feet are parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Lift your chest, pull your shoulders back, your low belly in, and exhale, fold, hinge from the hips. You can bend your knees if you need. Bring your hands to the ground just underneath your shoulders, if possible. Lengthen on your inhale breath by pushing your hands into the ground, and exhale, folding in. Right? You can keep those knees soft if you need. You're reaching the head towards the ground. Maybe for some of us it touches. Good. Straighten the arms on your inhale. Exhale. Hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale there. Reaching your arms out to a T position. Inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands behind the back. Pull your chest open, shoulders down and back. Keep your low belly lifted. Exhale, folding forward, hinge at your hips. Right, you're opening through that chest and the shoulders. Stay forward in the front part of the foot. Again, maybe your head touches the floor. Just breathing here. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale at the top. And then release your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold, hinge forward, reach for your big toes, 2 fingers and thumb. Just like you're wearing flip-flops again. Press into the knuckles to pull your chest through. And exhale, fold forward, hinge, head towards the ground. Two more breaths. Last one. Good. Straighten your arms. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And then step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale. Go ahead and reach up. Exhale, fold. Bend forward. Lengthen on your inhale. Push into the ground. You can either step your legs back or jump back. Lower down to that chaturanga position. Inhale into upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward towards your hands. You can walk, step, or jump. Feet back to the top of the mat. Pull the chest forward, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up to stand. And exhale, arms by your side. All right, we're gonna come into a standing leg balance. The first side, the standing leg is gonna be your left leg. You're gonna either reach for your right shin bone below the knee, or your right big toe with a 2-finger and thumb grip, just like you're wearing flip-flops. Once again, you can keep this right knee bent or straighten the leg. If you have a wall nearby and you need it for balance, you can bring your left hand to the wall for some balance. Aim to keep both the hips and the shoulders pointing straight ahead, okay? We're gonna turn the inner thigh open towards the ceiling first and not try to swivel, right? Keep that right hip pointing ahead. Just move the leg out towards the right, gaze where you have stability. Eventually turn the head so you're gazing over the left shoulder. Right sitting bone is reaching down towards that left heel. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, from the belly, you're gonna come into a little fold. Maybe your chin touches the shin. Inhale, stand up nice and tall, and then you're gonna move that right foot either into your right inner thigh or your left inner thigh, like tree pose, or perhaps some of you are able to take that half lotus position where the outer edge of the foot comes into the left hip crease. Bring your hands to a prayer position. Find that drop of the tailbone, the lift of the pubic bone, the low belly draws back. Gaze on one point. Maybe you're gonna reach your arms up and expand your arms outward. Go ahead and bring your hands back down to center, and to release your right leg, you're gonna lift your right knee up and then release your right foot down to the floor. Now the right leg will be the standing leg. You're gonna either reach for that left shin bone below the knee or your left big toe with that 2-finger and thumb grip. Hips and shoulders are pointing straight ahead. Turn the inner thigh open towards the ceiling. Then take the leg out towards the left without swiveling on that standing leg. Hips are gonna still point straight ahead, so maybe just don't go too far. And then if you're steady in your balance, you can look over the right shoulder. Breath is easy. Keep your focus on the breath. Feel the floor beneath your right foot. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold and draw the belly back. Good. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. Then you're going to move your left foot either into that tree pose position or the half lotus shape. Hands can come to prayer. Press the base of the index finger together. See if that helps you find some connection, some grounding to balance. Drop the tail, lift the low belly. Maybe you're reaching those arms up once again, if you did so on the other side. Good. Go ahead and draw your hands back down through heart center. Lift your left knee to release your left leg down. We're going to make our way down to the floor. So standing at the top of the mat, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, bend forward. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, legs back, lower down, plank position and chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Coming through to seated position, you can go ahead and walk your feet forward and slowly lower your hips down to the floor. Straight legs out in front of you. We're going to sit up nice and tall into Dandasana. Hands just forward of your hips. Keep your elbows soft, your chest lifted. All right, so similar to when we were in that seated position in the beginning of the class, the rib cage lifts a bit away from those pelvic bones, the low belly draws back. The chest and the chin are drawing towards one another, so the back of the neck stays long. You're gazing down the tip of the nose. The gaze should land somewhere about the feet or the shins. Then go ahead and reach your hands forward. You're going to either reach for your thighs, right? Some of us are going to reach for the thighs, the shins, maybe the big toes, or the outer edges of the feet. As far as you can reach before that chest starts to pull back, right? You can always bend your knees too. That's a good option. So you're going to push down into the shins or down into the feet to lift the chest. And then on your exhale, you're going to bend your elbows, fold, and hinge at the hip crease. So you want to think as you fold, right? If you were a book and your butt was the binding of the book and your torso and your legs were the pages, right? You wouldn't close the book like this. You'd close from the binding and seal all the pages all the way down, right? Straighten the arms on your inhale. Exhale there. Inhale, sit all the way up. Left leg stays straight. Bring the right foot into the left inner thigh. So you might hold that right thigh underneath you, right? Some of us at home, if there's any pain in the knee, you can always take that right hand underneath the right shin and cradle it. And give some weight to that arm. For some of us with open hips, that right thigh just releases down towards the ground. And try to turn that sole of the foot open so that inner thigh relaxes. You can reach forward, hands can frame that left shin bone in the beginning, or you can bring your hands to the shin or the foot. Again, push down to lift the chest up, draw back through the low belly, and as you fold, you're going to aim the center of your chest over the top of the left thigh. So again, in succession, you're sealing those pages of the book, right? Back of the neck stays long, breath is balanced. Last breath. Good. Straight arms, inhale. Exhale there. Inhale, sit all the way up, and exhale at the top. You're going to keep this left leg extended. You're just going to cross the midline a little bit. So that left leg will now be at a slight angle, and you're going to take that right leg and gently cross it over the left thigh. Hug that right shin bone, sit up nice and tall, and we're going to twist to the right. The left elbow can start to come to the top of the right knee. Eventually, as that twist deepens, the tricep starts to move to the outside of the thigh. You can reach down the length of that shin. That right hand can support you a bit behind you. And as you find more strength and stability in the core, you can release that right hand and wrap it across the back. Again, gazing over the right shoulder, make sure that right hip doesn't follow back in the twist. It remains wrapping forward so the foundation of your pelvis is steady and stable. Easy breaths. Chest up, shoulders down. Last one. Good. Turn your gaze back forward and gently release. You're going to unravel your legs back to straight legs. Right leg stays straight, left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. And you're setting it up, either framing the shin bone, you're taking the hands to the shin, or hands to the foot. Sit up nice and tall, push down in those hands to lift your chest up, low belly draws back, and exhale, fold the center of your chest over the top of your right thigh. Relax your left inner thigh. 2 more breaths. Last one. Straighten the arms, inhale, exhale, inhale, sit all the way up, and then cross the midline with that right leg just a little bit. Sole of your left foot comes to the outer edge of the right thigh. Hug the shin bone in so you sit up nice and tall. The hips are steady in that foundation, and then you're going to twist. Remember, elbow to the top of the knee, tricep can eventually come towards the outside. Don't let that left hip move back with you in the twist. Keep your hips steady on the ground. As you twist, you can look over your left shoulder. Maybe you're getting lighter on that left hand and rocking across the back. One more breath. Good. Inhale, look over your right shoulder. Exhale. And then release your legs out in front of you. Point your toes. Slow roll onto your back. Come all the way down to the ground. I want you to hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Rock a bit side to side, so you're massaging the low back, the sacrum against the ground. We're going to practice a little bit of core work. So we're going to practice rolling like a ball. As you roll, I want you to try to keep those knees into your chest. Don't let those heels come away from the butt. So as best as you can, you're going to keep those heels tight into your booty. You're going to exhale, rock back, inhale, rock up. Exhale back, inhale up. Stay tight in a little ball, so you've got to round the back a little bit. Eventually you're going to rock your way all the way up to a seated position. You can balance on those sit bones. We're going to come into Navasana. So either soles of the feet to the floor with the palms in to face one another, the thumbs up. The chest is lifted, the shoulders are pinned back. If this is easy, you can go ahead and take your shins parallel to the floor. Chest is up, belly is back. Maybe some of us are going to work the legs a little bit straighter. Keep that chest lifted. Gaze somewhere about the toes. Easy breath. Good. Last one. All right, you're going to cross at your ankles, get tight in a little ball. Try your best to keep the feet off of the floor. Hands just forward of the hips. You're going to inhale, lift up, and exhale, set it down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Go ahead and straighten the legs if possible, right? If you find yourself sinking, you can always bring those feet down to the ground. Chest up, shoulders pinned back, low belly is drawing in, up and back. Breath is easy. 2 more. It helps if you smile. Good. And cross your ankles, opposite ankle on top. Hug everything in, nice and tight like a ball. Exhale the breath. Inhale, little lift. And lower down. Last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and lower down to low boat. Come all the way down into a full body stretch. Arms overhead, legs long, toes point. So you can catch hold of your right wrist with your left hand and arc the body towards the left. The feet can go a little bit over to the left. Good, and then come back to center. Take hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Arc the torso over towards the right, and then you can inch those feet over towards the right a bit. Find some length on the left side waist. Good. Come back to center. Reach your legs long, your arms long. Get as long as you can. Inhale. And exhale. Gonna draw your knees into your chest. You can give yourself a little squeeze here. Another little rock side to side. Taking the soles of the feet down to the ground about the width of your hips, right? Not wider than the width of your mat. And try to tag your heels with your fingertips. So we're either going to come into shoulder bridge, where we're just going to press those tops of the feet down into the floor. For those of you at home that are familiar with Urdhva Dhanurasana, the hands alongside of your ears, you can take this position here, okay? There is a midpoint that I like to teach. So so you're working the proper rotation of your shoulders to move towards Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can take or start to take this position in the arms, right? It gains flexibility in the wrist and the opening required in the shoulders without even lifting your head off of the floor. So you can just exhale, feel a little tuck of your tail, direct those sitting bones towards your heels, and then inhale, lift up. Take 5 breaths, squeeze your thighs gently together. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, release, lower down. Another option, we're going to do this 2 more times. As you inhale and lift up, you can roll those shoulders underneath you, interlacing, clasping your fingers. So you squeeze those shoulder blades together. Maybe you feel a little bit more lift in your chest. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. Maybe you're staying with your variation or you're moving a little bit further. You're nice and warm for Urdhva Dhanurasana or your wheel pose. Exhale, feel that slight tuck of your tail. Inhale, maybe you're coming to the crown of your head and pausing, and then lift all the way up. Try to work your legs straighter. Draw your sits bones towards your heels. Full deep breaths. Choose your deep breath. 4 and 5. Gently lower down. Hips down to the ground. And go ahead and lift your legs straight up into Supta Dandasana. Right, if you feel that the hips start to lift here, right, or there's straining or some sort of lightness, the neck starts to lift, just go ahead and bend your knees. Take some of that strain off of your hamstrings. Your hands can come down alongside of your body. Give your hands a little press down into the ground and a reach of your fingertips long. See if that assists in finding that drawing in of your low belly. Rock and roll our way up to sit. Exhale, inhale, roll up, and then come back forward into that seated forward bend. Nice and easy. Allow this to be a counter. It's not going to be your deepest forward bend, right? So just see if you can allow the body to begin to go the other way. Straighten the arms, take an inhale, exhale there, inhale, sit up, and another slow roll, come onto your back, come all the way down, see if you can lower controlled, 1 vertebra at a time. Once you get there, go ahead and again pull both knees into your chest. And then releasing the soles of your feet down to the floor. Your feet will go wide, about to the width of your mat, and just let your knees drop into touch. Go ahead and take the back of your hands to the floor. So you're going to come into a cactus, goddess, or goalpost shape in the arms, however you like to visualize that. Keeping your feet wide, your knees are touching. And then you're just going to let both knees drop over towards the right. If you need a little bit more, you can always cross this right ankle on top of the left thigh. See if you can notice some opening along that left side body, into the left psoas. Very subtle. Good. Come back to center, your feet wide, knees drop into touch, finding that neutral point. And then just let both knees drop towards the left. Again, you can cross left ankle on the right thigh to help release it towards the ground. And connecting to some opening along this right side. Good. Coming back to center, feet wide. Drop those knees back into touch just for a moment. And we're going to take the opposite position with the feet. So go ahead and heel toe now your feet to touch and let your knees go wide out to either side. So in a butterfly, a reclined butterfly shape or Supta Baddha Konasana. You can keep your hands right here in the status or goalpost shape. And if you feel a little bit exposed or vulnerable, that's not such a bad thing. Right, just check into that sensation and what it brings up for you. If you really need the grounding, you can bring one or both hands to the belly, one to the heart. Or take a mudra, the upside down triangle where the thumbs are touching, the index fingers are touching, right below the belly button. Go ahead and help your knees back in and rock and roll your way up to sit. We're going to close with some breathing postures. So go ahead and come up. And to finish, we can either take this same position that we took in the beginning, Sukhasana, just crossing your ankles, or if possible in your body, in your practice, you can move that right foot into half lotus. In the beginning, you can just slide this left foot underneath, right? And then the next pose, you can switch the feet, or take the left foot on top into Padmasana or lotus position. Your left arm will wrap across the back, followed by the right. You can reach for the forearms or your opposite elbows. Eventually, for those of you flexies out there, you can reach left hand to the left foot, right hand to the right foot, and fold forward. So with the opposite elbows or the feet, we're going to fold forward for 10 breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Inhale, come on up to sit. You're going to bring the back of the hands to the tops of the knees, fingers together, and then the first finger and thumb to touch. Lift your chest through the upper arms, elbows are straight, looking down the nose. Exhale your breath. We're going to inhale and exhale through the nose. Inhale, the belly expands. Ribs expand in all directions, and then exhale, draw it back into center. 1. Inhale, maybe you're visualizing the breath rising. Pausing at the top, and then exhale, visualize the breath falling the length of the spine. Pausing there at the bottom. 2. 3. Notice if there's any of these little jerky movements. 4. As you're working towards stillness, right, the mind tries to pull us away from stillness. 5. So in yoga, we're cultivating stillness, right? Working that practice of cultivating stillness, strengthening our nervous system. 6. 7. 8. breathing exercise is sort of like the last hurrah. So we're gonna cultivate a little bit of strength. You're gonna start to lift your knees, right? If your legs were not in that Padmasana shape, the lotus position, your feet might touch the floor, but try not to use the feet to lift your hips. Try your best to use your hands to start to get some lightness in those hips. Exhale to prepare, and then inhale, lift. 1, a little faster count this time. 2, 3, it helps if you smile. 4, look down your nose. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Go ahead and release your hips down to the floor. Bring your hands back to heart center. And just for a moment, bring back to mind your intention, right, for yourself, your loved ones, and celebration of Earth Day, the environment around you, your gratitude for Mother Earth. Right? She gave us a place to live, experience this life. Let's close together in unity with the sound of Om. So go ahead and exhale your breath. Inhale, prepare. Pausing there in silence. Just allow that energy to resonate. Bringing your hands to your third eye, your forehead. My heart bows to yours. The light in me honors that same bright and beautiful light in each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Namaste.